Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK, and welcome back to 9 Episode 3. In the last video, we actually got to the opening, so I guess the prologue of this episode is done. That one felt like quite a while, so much so that I had thought we had already gone through the opening movie, or that there wasn't one. It never crossed my mind. But yeah, here we are. And we also left off on a very interesting point. Our instructor, who had a little bit of an involvement in the previous episode, in episode 2, she came over with Kosaka, I'm pretty sure, so she learned about her situation. But we never thought anything of it. She didn't necessarily stand out, and she seemed like somebody that was just normal. She had connections with the shrine and everything, and therefore the history of the town, I'm pretty sure, but past that, she never seemed odd or involved, really. But all of a sudden, she has revealed herself to be involved. So, very curious to see her involvement here in the story, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be some involvement here. I also don't even know her name, because that's how, like, I don't know, unimportant she was. I want to say that she had some importance. Again, the history with this place and the shrine and everything, what knowledge she carried, especially in episode 2. But I never learned her name, or I never remembered it. Anyways, let's read on to see what we got going on here, because we also have Rig Veda at full force, ready to cause some damage. Another sleepless night passes. I was tired as hell last night, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't fall asleep. I lazed around on my bed until 8, but in the end I gave up and decided to start my day. I hate it when that happens. Like, you are really tired, you're trying to sleep in as much as you can, or sleep in general, but you just can't. And you just have to accept it. I'm awake, and even so you're still tired, you just gotta push through and get rid of all of it. Give up, basically. Start the day. I've washed my face and brushed my teeth, but I still don't feel any better. There's this deep-set exhaustion that is sunk into my bones. Also, my stomach still hurts like hell. I pull up my shirt in front of the mirror to check on it. The bruising is gone, but it's still a little red. Frowning, I put my shirt back down. Discovering Yoichi's true identity was a pretty big shock. But to my surprise, I'm also hung up over the fact that I was down for the count after one hit, especially since that made me look lame in front of a bunch of girls. Sighing, I grab a jelly drink out of the fridge and head back to the living room. My phone is blinking. I reach out and check my messages. There's a text from Sora saying, "What do you want to do today?" Judging by the number of red message notifications next to it, everyone else is already awake. Maybe they're like me and couldn't fall asleep last night. Kujo suggests meeting up in the afternoon. Kosaka-senpai and Yuki voice their agreement. And hello, Sophie. Just as I'm about to say I'm fine with that too, a spatial rift appears above my table. Don't what? Sophie's sudden outburst takes me by surprise. Seeing me gasp, Sophie gives me an exasperated look. What the fuck is she, like, bothering us about so early in the goddamn morning? No shit.
気持ちはわかるけれど、魂へのダメージは見た目でわからない分厄介なのよ。回復しているつもりでもそうじゃなかったりする。
Is that the damage that was caused, not necessarily physically, but to the soul?
どうせまだ疲れが残っているんでしょ。
まあ、少し。
学校は？
ああ、休み。
だったら2日間ゆっくり休んでリフレッシュしなさい。どうせ集まったところでそんな陰気な顔していちゃ何も進展しないわよ。
I mean, it might help our spirits to, like, meet up and, you know, talk about stuff, even if nothing is accomplished in the talking. At least we're getting up, leaving our abode, if you will, moving around, and trying to clear the mind. The mind is also very important here.
話し合うのは気持ちが前向きになってから。いい？
Why can't we recover some optimism by talking it out?
わかったよ。
よろしい。じゃあね。
That was it? That's all we got out of Sophie? I don't know. A part of me doesn't really want to trust her and think we should probably do things that we feel is best, honestly. Satisfied, Sophie vanishes. For a moment, I hesitate. But in the end, I decide to do as Sophie says. Sophie said that we should all rest today. The red message checkmark pops up almost instantly and everyone agrees to postpone the meeting. The fact that we were all willing to drop the idea so quickly means that they're probably as exhausted as I am. Even so, I grab my phone and plop back down onto my bed. How can I rest in a situation like this? My classmate is a murderer. And when we tried to stop him, we got our asses handed to us. It was all of us. Yeah, we all got beat up there. We all got embarrassed. Plus, my phone buzzes, the tone telling me that it's a direct message and not a text in the group chat. It's from Senpai. Do you want to talk about what happened yesterday? I think we really should. Like, yeah, this whole incident with Rig Veda aside, this is a whole different thing. Yesterday, we had a completely unexpected encounter. Yeah, how did that all go? Ignoring our confusion, Miss Naruse strides into the shrine. Yeah, I mean, at this point, everybody's a fucking user, right? Especially at this one school and wherever Yuki goes. We chase after Miss Naruse. After making sure we're following behind her, she turns back around and heads deeper into the shrine. She comes to a stop in a dark corner of the grounds. Her faintly glowing stigma is the only thing illuminating the area. Senpai and I are both wearing tense expressions on our faces. This is just too weird. Yeah, honestly, this was a big surprise at the end of the previous video. I did not see this coming. How could I, honestly? Yeah, just slightly. She smiles gently at us. We're standing close enough that we can just barely make out each other's expressions. It's also her tone. She's not talking the way that she usually does either. When she says her, she points to her own chest. I knew it. Okay. Then who is this? Wait a minute, that name sounds very familiar. Yeah, my knowledge of all of this is a little, not present. But in the previous episode, Sora and Kakeru were actually looking through all the documents that, Miss Naruse was able to give to us, and I'm pretty sure Iris was involved in all that.
1000年前、白三川を襲った最悪。それを鎮めたのがイーリスです。つまり、この白田つくも神社に祀られている。
Senpai shrinks back in awe. Honestly, I'm pretty shaken too. Iris. According to the records I borrowed from Miss Naruse a while back, she's a god. Is this really the same Iris? She was supposed to have lived 1,000 years ago. If it actually is the Iris of legend, then is she here to bring the situation under control, just like she did in the past? Is that why she approached us? Also, why is she using Miss Naruse's body? It's probably a good, proxy, honestly, because of the connection that her family has with this shrine. I don't get what's going on at all. while we're still speechless, Miss Naruse, or rather Iris, gives us a kind smile and begins talking.
順を追って説明させていただきたいところですが、長々と立ち話に付き合わせるのは忍びないですし、何より信用などできないでしょう。
Yeah, honestly, this could be somebody that's like lying to us about, who is actually controlling her body.
ですから、今はたった一つだけ、ソフィーティアと名乗る女性にご注意。
Okay, all right. I'm on board. Sorry, I was getting a drink, but yeah, I'm on board with whoever the fuck this is. Because I am also very wary of Sophie. Now I'm even more confused. What the fuck was that sound effect? That was some Breaking Bad shit. Just some odd sound effect. Fortunately, it seems there's more to Iris's warning.
彼女の目的はアーティファクトの回収です。そのためにあなた方と協力している。
はい。
彼女の協力者はあなた方だけですか？
Nope.
いや、他にも3人
No.
います。
No.
失礼。正確にお伺いします。
No, I know exactly what she's alluding to.
彼女の協力者はあなたとその仲間の方々だけですか？
I finally understand what Iris is getting at. Until now, the thought never even crossed my mind that Sophie might be working with other people as well.
彼女は手段を選びません。そういう女性です。アーティファクトを効率よく回収するために様々な策を講じていることでしょう。
Yep.
その一つ。
100%.
あなた方。
Iris trails off. It's obvious what she's implying. A lot of the things I had been thinking were strange suddenly make sense now. Iris smiles brightly, satisfied that she got her message across.
今日はここまでといたします。どうか私のことはお仲間にはご内密に。
どうして？
こちらにもいろいろと都合が。またお話ししましょう。かけるさん、はるかさん。
いや。
では、さようなら。どうか判断を誤らぬよう。
Yeah, I pray I make the right choice as well. Hate it when I don't make the right choice. Iris walks off before we can get a word in edgewise. All we can do is watch blankly as she heads inside Miss Naruse's house.
神様まで登場するなんて、なんだか大変なことに。
Oh, come on now. We have artifacts and powers that stem from a whole different world or whatever. We have a plushie, I guess is a proxy of a character that is also from this other world. But this is where it gets a little too crazy.
そうですね。余計にややこしくなってきました。
ですよね。
送ります。駅まで。
駅、はい。ありがとうございます。
行きましょう。
We exit the shrine and start walking to the station. Our thoughts are such a mess that neither of us know what to say, so we make the trip in silence. When we're almost there, Senpai quietly mutters.
他の協力者ってリグベーダの人たちのことですよね。
Or more specifically, probably just Yoichi.
ですね。
I mean, it could be, it could be also Takamine. I doubt it. Yoichi is the mastermind regardless, or at least the main antagonist here. So, as long as there's contact there, doesn't matter if it's the rest of Rig Veda, because one of them is also just Yoichi, and the other, I'm not really sure how to properly gauge him anymore. I just feel bad for him. Yeah, Yoichi specifically. There's something that's been on my mind. Back in the park, when Sophie transformed back to her usual stuffed animal form, Yoichi did not look too surprised. He just laughed it off, saying that he couldn't believe he fell for such a stupid trap. The fact that he used the word trap is significant too. That means Yoichi knew that only users could see Sophie, and realized that I had used that property to check whether or not he was a user. Most importantly though, Yoichi was aware of the term that we had been using for him, the Evil Eyes User. That was an internal nickname that neither I nor anyone else had said in front of Yoichi before. But somehow he knew it. The only logical explanation is that he is in contact with someone from the other world just like we are. Back then I had wondered why he seemed to know so much about us. I'd figured someone must have been providing him our info. If he really does have a connection to Sophie, that would go a long way toward explaining Yoichi's reactions. It's a plausible theory at least. It would account for why he wasn't startled when he saw Sophie, and why he knew so much about us. His understanding of artifacts and powers and everything also go like above and beyond what we know, I'm pretty goddamn sure. At least that's what we saw out of Ghost and Takamine. So, yeah, he has to have some sort of connection, and the only other person that we know, I guess now besides Iris, that has that connection to the other world is Sophie. But if Sophie is working with him, that raises new questions. What exactly is Sophie after? That is a good question, actually, because I have no idea now. Assuming she's telling the truth, I have not discovered that Yoichi is the Evil Eye's user in any other branch. No, that is true. We've discovered that Ghost is using the Evil Eye. However, she is just an illusory body. With her artifact, she should now be aware that of that fact in every branch. Her goal is to collect all the artifacts that spilled into this world. It's possible that she's tolerating Yoichi's murders, or at least his murders of other users, to make that goal easier for her. Then, once he's done enough, she'll have us defeat him and collect his evil eye as well. After that, we'll voluntarily give our artifacts over to her, so she doesn't need to worry about us. For the sake of argument, let's assume that's what her plan is. But in that case, there's a number of things that don't make sense. First, if Sophie knew Yoichi was the Evil Eye's user from the start, why didn't she lead us to him right away? Was it because she knew that we couldn't beat him as we are, and was waiting for us to grow stronger? No, that can't be it. Sophie isn't trying to help us hone our own abilities. She didn't even tell us how to make familiars, which would have been an easy way to boost our strength. Besides, if she was actively trying to prevent us from discovering Yoichi's identity too soon, she would have come up with some excuse for why she couldn't go along with my plan to expose him. I mean, it's also pretty interesting because, she must be an excellent double agent or some shit. Whatever her plan is, it's very, very mysterious because I can't even pin it down right now. Because in episode 2, she went above and beyond to try and create a concoction in order to save Sora's life when her own powers were eating at her and she was disappearing from reality along with us, kind of. So there's also that. And she helped us in combat against Ghost. Sure, that isn't the actual enemy, but that is going against Rig Veda. That is going against Yoichi, technically. But I guess that also saves Yoichi because now he can truly hide in the shadows. It's hard to say what Sophie is really trying to get at here. There's too much we don't know. What is it that Sophie is really after? Likewise, what is Iris's goal here? If she's the god who resolved the crisis 1,000 years ago, why is she dropping us cryptic hints instead of taking action herself? Senpai glances at me, likely worried by my extended silence. I want to say something to dispel the dark mood, but nothing comes to mind. This is an odd one, isn't it, gang? In the end, we stay silent all the way to the station.
それじゃあ、今日はありがとうございました。
はい。イリスさんのこと、
はい。
信用してもいいんでしょうか?
A part of me wants to say yes. A part of me really wants to say no because there's no hard evidence that this is who she says she is. It's very strange how all that kind of just happened. So I want to say no right now. More no than yes, I guess is how I want to word it. However, I want to keep my I want to stay open to the idea of eventually trusting her if we get more accurate information. Her saying to be wary of not Yoichi, but of Sophie is a really good sign of trusting her because she knows way more, and what she kind of threw at us, yeah, that's something that I've been kind of grasping at as well.
ご注意をなんて言われましたけど、ソフィーさんのこと悪い人には思えなくて。
Senpai's right. Sophie has been nothing but cooperative so far. Cooperative to a degree. She doesn't want to, explain everything. Familiars, I guess information that she doesn't deem is worthy of passing on to us unless it's like absolutely necessary. And I've said this before, she's the one who states when something is necessary. Despite all her grumbling, she's listened to all of my requests so far. If we're willing to take her word or take her at her word, then the reason she didn't teach us how to make familiars is because she's concerned about our well-being. That said, it's true that she's hiding a lot of things from us. There's more than a few important things that she's unwilling to talk about. Then again, is Iris any different? No, she really kept things short. I'm grateful for the warning, but it's pretty fishy how she's dropping these vague hints to try and win us over to her side without saying anything concrete. Hell, there is no guarantee that she's the real Iris even. Also, why does she want us to keep her existence a secret from the others? She probably doesn't want Sophie to necessarily know. It is possible that if this was Iris, and that she has some pretty unique abilities here, she detected that Sophie was not watching us and approached us in order to give us this warning. And she doesn't want us to tell anybody because it could be while Sophie is watching us, or that message could pass on to Sophie, or leak out in general. All of her actions reek of suspicion. We can really argue that both of these characters are suspicious. They're from different worlds. We don't even know that this is the real Iris. We don't know what Sophie's goal is. We don't know enough to know who to trust.
今は何とも言えないですね。多少なりとも付き合いがある分、ソフィー寄りではありますが。
Yeah, but
ですよね。言われた通り秘密に
話したいところですが、どういう結果を招くかわかりませんからね。
I say for now we
慎
don't.
重に行動したいですね。
Like, I don't think it's going to change anything whatsoever if we bring it up, so let's just keep it on the down low.
私と新見さんの2人だけの秘密なんてなんだかドキドキ。
Alright.
急にどうしました？
今の言わなくてよかったというか不謹慎というかすみません。本当私思いつきで話しちゃって。
Man, we are really seeing the true colors of Kosuka here. We have not seen this truly in the previous episodes. Truly, this is a sight to behold at times. Blushing Senpai flails her arms wildly. Frankly, I'm fine with her having no filter. It's the moments when she suddenly cuts herself off that surprise me more. She's so spontaneous that I'm never bored when I'm around her. Exactly, yeah, definitely. Previous episodes, it's like, yep, I'm ready to go to sleep all of a sudden. Watching her emotions switch from one extreme to the other at the drop of a hat is pretty entertaining. I feel a little better now that she's light in the mood.
今日は本当にありがとうございました。2人で調べてみましょう。
はい2人ではい2人で
Senpai nods, beaming happily.
じゃあ今度こそ本当に帰ります。はいおやすみなさい。
おやすみなさい。
She bows and I nod my head back at her. We do our usual exchange of nods and bows, and then Senpai heads inside the station. That was a really extended night. First Yoichi, then Iris, and now, be wary of the woman named Sophita, or Sophicia, however you're supposed to properly pronounce her actual name there, but whatever. I cannot get those words out of my head. It's not as though I trust Iris, but it's also true that Sophie and I haven't exactly built up a relationship of trust. I need to speak with Miss Naruse, or rather, Iris again. I text Senpai telling her I'm down to talk. We make plans to meet at the train station around noon, and I put my phone down next to my pillow. I may as well try and sleep until then. It probably won't do me any good, but my head is too foggy to think right now, or to think straight right now. Even if I can't fall asleep, I can at least close my eyes for a bit. Just for a second. Maybe we were able to get some sleep there. I hope we were able to get some sleep there. Yawning, I head to our meeting point. Taking a short nap was a mistake. Now I feel even more tired than before. Maybe I'll be able to focus after I eat something, excuse me. And there she be. I was gonna say, like, even if you can't fall asleep, if you're not capable of it, I'm pretty sure as long as you try to rest, lay down, you know, just keep the eyes closed. I don't know how effective that is. I'm gonna need somebody to like correct me on this one, or I'm gonna have to like Google it, because I actually do not know how effective it is. Obviously sleep is better because you're kind of shutting down for a little bit. There is no way that you can try and do other things, but when you just have your eyes closed, your mind can continue to race. Your heart rate isn't necessarily where it needs to be at that resting state. So you're not quite there. It's hard to say how much you're really benefiting. But I still think it was smart to try and get some sleep there. Even, well, he did get a nap, but even if he didn't, as long as he just, you know, lied there. I stifle a second yawn when I spot Senpai. She sees me as well and flashes me a smile.
すみません。お待たせしました。
いいえ、
Nope, it's the other personality
私は
today.
早く来すぎただけですわ。
あれ
She's in her other personality.
さあ、もちろんそちらも大事ですが、
She grabs my arm and pulls it close.
今は
はい。
温泉です。
Huh?
はい。
この近くに温泉があるのはご存知でして？
いえ。
I mean, I'm fucking down.
今からそちらへ。
I'd like to go to a hot spring someday. That
い
shit
や、な
sounds
んで
fun.
内身にも効くそうですよ。
She gently caresses my stomach. Oh, I see now. Soaking in a hot spring doesn't sound too bad, honestly. Actually, wait, what?
なんか急っすね。
先ほど思いついたばかりですから。
Ah, gotcha.
いつもの先輩じゃなくて今の先輩の思いつき？
いいえ、思いついたのはあの子ですよ。
Oh, but she couldn't pull through in order to actually request it. So here comes the other personality.
とにかく
This time, Senpai caresses my chest.
休息ですわ、かける様。今日だけは全てを忘れて楽しみましょ
はい。わかりました。
う。では。
Thank God she's on our side in this rendition here, honestly. Senpai tugs on my arm, leading me to the station.
タオルとかって
I'm sure they have some
大
there.
丈夫ですわ。
Yeah.
レンタルできますから。浴衣も貸してもらえるそうですの。私、楽しみで楽しみで。
Senpai smiles cheerfully. I noticed this yesterday, but she really enjoys looking after me, huh? I feel a bit bad about burdening her, but I guess for now I'll lean on her like she asked. I don't necessarily know where this hot spring is, but this may be the first time that we're actually leaving this this whole area and going elsewhere. I don't think we've done that in any other episode. We ride the train in the opposite direction from Senpai and my parents' houses for a dozen minutes or so. We get off 3 stops away, and from there our destination is within walking distance. Within a few minutes, I can see the hot spring in the distance.
こんなのあったんですね。
確かできたのは2年前だったでしょうか。ずっと来たかったの
Unless
です
this is
が、
actually a part of the
なか
town,
な
then
か機会がなくて。
fuck whatever I just said, you know? Senpai excitedly tugs on my arm, leading me inside. We pay for the day and pick up our wristbands and locker keys.
ではかける様、また後ほど。
What do you mean by that?
はい。
Wait, what did she mean by that? After picking out our rental yukatas, we head to our respective changing rooms. I find my assigned locker and put my things away. As I'm undressing, I suddenly realize something. Oh boy, I wonder what it is that you're gonna realize. I'm at a hot spring with Senpai. This is totally a date, isn't it? Doing my best to temper my rising expectations, I put on my yukata and leave the changing room. While I'm waiting for Senpai to come out, I absently stare at an advertisement pasted onto the wall. Apparently, there are live comedy shows in the main hall here every Saturday, There's also a section of the building dedicated to festival minigames. So this is more of a full-blown amusement park than just a hot spring.
お待たせいたしました。
I guess we have to, they have to make their money somehow.
あっちかな。
いえ、混浴
Oh
でき
my
るのは
god.
あちらですわね。
See, that's sort of what I was picking up on.
ああ、なるほど。混浴。
Are we actually gonna do it? I guess we're actually doing it.
気持ちいいですわね。
ですね。
Hey buddy, where you looking? Senpai and I are sitting side by side, soaking in one of the pools. But only up to our ankles. The rest of our bodies are completely dry and clothed. You know, as God intended, of course. When I heard that there was a mixed bathing pool, I got excited, but I should have figured it was something like this. It's just a foot bath. Yeah, of course it is. There's no way there would be full-on nude mixed bathing in a family-friendly facility like this one.
何を期待
Did I
さ
say
れていました
bathing? I meant bathing. Sorry guys, I've said this before in, I don't know which Let's Play it was. It's probably anonymous code because that one definitely required some thinking. But my IQ definitely drops whenever I do these recording sessions. Senpai chuckles as she looks at my expression.
何のことです?
I try to play it cool, but the disappointment in my voice makes it obvious what I was hoping for. However, I still get to see Senpai in a yukata. The top's open enough that I can see her cleavage, and she's pulled up the bottom of her thighs, or pulled up the bottom so her thighs are visible as well. On second thought, isn't your yukata a bit too loose, Senpai? Yeah, a little bit, honestly. Well, you won't see me complaining about it, of course. I'm openly ogling her at this point, so there's no way Senpai hasn't caught on to what I'm thinking. But she doesn't seem to mind. In fact, she's scooting closer to me as if she's trying to show off her boobs. She's so bold I'm actually feeling awkward about staring now.
かける様
はい。
すべてを忘れてなどと申しましたが、なかなかそういうわけにはいかないでしょう。
What do you mean by that? Sorry, but I totally managed to forget. The only thing on my mind was your boobs.
ですから、先に済ませてしまいましょう。
Senpai's voice drops an octave, and I banish the stupid thoughts about tits from my mind, only for now, of course. Senpai
果
nods.
たして先生は覚えていらっしゃるのか。
I doubt it. I mean, what would the point have been then? If she does, that's fine, but if she doesn't remember what happened while Iris was hijacking her body, then hell, she might not even know Iris really exists.
ちょっと
We're up against a cold-blooded killer, which is crazy because, again, this is Yoichi that we're talking about. Honestly, part of me wants everyone else to sit back and stay safe. But I know all too well that I can't take Yoichi on alone. Yeah, not even. If we want to stop him, all of us are going to have to work as a team.
白水川にいるの
Oh,
でしょうか。
100%. He's still somewhere around here. It's just that he's probably having to, you know, stay low or hang low. Probably with Takamine. They probably aren't going to be showing up to school anymore because, well, we know who they really are now. Takamine, we knew who he really was, but Yoichi is the murderer.
いますよ。
And Takamine is going to stick
そ
with
うじゃ
him.
なかったら。
はい、真面目な話はおしまいです。
Uh-oh. What's going on here? What's happening here? Senpai claps her hands and grabs my arm. I can't tell if it's because she's wearing less clothing than usual or what, but her boobs feel even softer than usual. I'm glad we can do a comparison. Obviously, she's not wearing a bra. It's a yukata. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Man, it's kind of pathetic how she just has to press her tits against me, and my train of thought immediately goes off the rails.
そうでした。おしまいにする前にもう一つ。
はい。
ソフィーさんは休めと、そうおっしゃってくださったのですよね。
That's kind of what we're doing, right?
ですね。
注意しろとのことですが、今のところ不利益を被るどころか非常に協力的に思います。
It could honestly be a bad idea to be resting, because we don't necessarily have any real injuries. She said something about injuries to our soul, but come on now.
そうなんですよね。それについても今のところは何とも。
この場で結論を出せることではありませんか。失礼しました。今度こそおしまいといたしましょう。せっかく温泉に来たのですから、暗い話ばかりせずに楽しみませんとね。
Oh, come on, game. Why are you doing this to me? Senpai squeezes my arm, pressing her boobs harder against me. It's obvious this personality of Senpai is doing this on purpose. The scary thing is that if she really wanted to, she could easily fan the flames of my lust until I lost control. Although I probably wouldn't actually lay a hand on her out in public like this. Hopefully not, you know, in general, but let's stick to where we're at right now, I suppose. That being said, I am still in a tough spot. This is most definitely not the situation I want to be in.
ちょっと
はい、
離れて。
そろそろお昼ですが、お腹は空いてらっしゃいますか？
Oh yeah, they did do a meetup at like noontime.
かける様ご存知ですか？毎週、
Oh my
お笑いラ
god.
イブが開催されているとか。
She is so stalling.
先輩
She is absolutely
スルーはひ
stalling.
どいっす。
だって照れるかける様がとっても可愛らしいんですもの。
That's
いつも
messed
の
up.
先輩に交
But
代する
honestly, yeah, that is her
工程は
personality here.
その答えはふさわしい時、
Oh,
そ
thanks.
してふさわしい場所で聞かせていただきます。
How kind of her.
まあどうしてもとおっしゃるのなら今でも構いませんが、
勘弁してください。
お顔が真っ赤。
She jokingly pokes my cheek. Senpai is usually so timid that this flirtatious version of her always catches me by surprise. A pure inexperienced cherry boy like me has no way of keeping up with her banner.
そろそろ温泉入ります。
そうですわね。このままだと足だけがふやけてしまいそうですし。で
However,
すが、
ああ、先にお昼。
いいえ、もうしばらくこのままで。
oh yeah, but of course.
だってあからさまに逃げようとされているんですもの。もっといじめることにいたしました。
Yeah, it's not surprising. I mean, come
マ
on.
ジかよ。
先ほどから気にしていらっしゃると思うのですが、
Uh-oh, what is she gonna enlighten us with?
はい
実は私
はい。
下着つけてい
I'm
ま
not
せん。
surprised. Again, it's a yukata.
はい。
You wear it, it's like a bathrobe. You wear it until you get into the bath and then afterwards.
何笑ってるんすか。そういう冗談や
Or
め
at
て
least
くだ
that's
さい
how I
って。
see it. I don't know how it all works. I don't know this system.
あらあら
He's just a simple man. Give him a break, you
で
know?
は怒られないうちにやめるといたしましょう。
助かった。
続きは温泉を出た後に。
You know, at least there won't be titties in view whenever we do that.
先輩。
Yeah, let's just enjoy an actual, like, hot spring here. In the end, we never actually soaked in the hot spring. We'll never fucking mind, I guess. It's a shame I didn't get a chance to see what she looks like in a damp yukata, but I guess it's not a big deal. Besides, I'm pretty sure that the main reason she invited me was because she wanted to talk, not take a dip in the hot spring. Since we came here together, it would have been a waste to split up just to soak for a bit, so Senpai said as much, and honestly I agree. After our foot bath, we had a luxurious lunch and then left.
どうかお気になさらず。
Man, we really had a whole fucking day with the other personality, huh?
それでもありがとうございます。あともう
Oh,
一
I'm
人の
I'm sure
っていうか
she's
い
seeing
つ
all
もの
this.
先輩にもお礼を。
There's no need to pass a message along.
はい学校で。
次こそ二人で入りましょうね。
Hey,
混浴。
let's not.
混浴ですか。無理っすよ。ないですもんこの辺に。
That means that there's a little bit of a trip that we must take.
ほ
We have to truly get
ら、あ
out
る
of
じゃな
here.
いですか。
あ、どこです？
かける様のお部屋。
God damn it.
次と言わず、これから一緒に入りますか？あの時の続きも。
No, I'm alright. I already have to
勘
like
弁し
hide
て
in
く
your
ださいって
fucking.
本当。
I have to already have
俺
to
そういう
put
の
like a big
免
old
疫ないん
black
で。
box all over that CG that we were staring at for a good 15 minutes. So it's
そして
let's just leave it at that, you know?
お家でゆっくりと休まれて。
Hey yo.
うん
Senpai's smile suddenly vanishes. Her eyes go wide as she stares at something behind me. Her expression wooden.
先輩？
どうして？
I turn around to see what Senpai's looking at. There are a few boys around our age standing in front of the convenience store.
あいつらどうかしました？
同級生で
クラスメイトですか？
小学生の。
Elementary school. Ooh, we're getting a little bit of her past here.
小学生。
I finally realize why it is that she looks so terrified. She told me about her past before, and I kind of forgot about it. So those are the guys who...
先輩早く
I'm about to say hurry up and go home, but then I stop myself. I don't want to leave her alone when she's like this. I should find a nearby cafe. No, wait. If those guys happen to come in too, it'll be a disaster. For now, we should just get out of here.
先輩行きましょう
Back to the apartment. I grab her arm and start walking away without waiting for her reply. This was turning out to be such a good day, but now everything is suddenly ruined. Excuse me there. See, I told you guys, IQ definitely drops. And yep, here we are, back at the old abode. And that is where we will end this video. Alright, well this was fun. Honestly, I do have to say, and I mean this truly, I'm not a liar. I've never lied to you guys, right? So, Kosaka is actually a really fun character. I think, I want to say that there are quite a few of you who were saying that this is a good episode and that Kosaka, you know, really does shine here in this one. And whoever actually said that, you know, y'all are right. Definitely agree. To those that said that episode 2 was also a really good one and that Sora really shined, and Kakadu, really. We actually got to see a much better light of him as well. Y'all were right. So every episode really does have something to offer, and there's definite improvements as we go through them. Not that episode 1 was bad, definitely not, but you know, it is nice to see a good side, a very active side to Kosaka, to see a nice relationship blooming here as they try to figure all this shit out. In good old 9 fashion, if you will. But anyways, thank you all for watching this one. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and I will see you all in the next one with hopefully no mixed bathing.